First impressions. We'll probably make thousands of first impressions in our lives, but chances are we're not going to nail every single one. But I can think of one first impression that you want to nail every time. And that is the first impression that you give off during a job interview. And that's good because, according to Charlie Stone, who's the lead author of Chasing the American Dream, which is a study done by University of Rutgers on the effects of the economy on college graduates today. And Charlie Stone stated that only 50% of college graduates will get a full-time job. That is the grim reality of today. So today I'm going to help you get that job. How do you ask? On January 2011, Allison Kruger, a writer for Business Insider, wrote an article titled Top 11 Things You Need to Know About a Job Interview. In her countdown, she wrote that she put #1 emphasis on personal appearance. She wrote that in 15 seconds, a person could form over half their opinion based solely on your appearance. To back that up, Bertram Gabutsky, pretty sure I got that name right, who is the lead author of the Journal of Experimental Psychology, stated that your personal appearance will not only affect the opinion of those you just met, but they'll also affect the opinions of those who've known you for a long time. So in this demonstration, I will demonstrate to you how to iron your shirt. The reason I chose this is because I think everybody should know how to iron a shirt. We're all about to be going to the job world, and we need to obviously look good for the interview. So the first thing you want to do when ironing a shirt is you want to check your materials, which is usually on one or two places. One actually on the back, or the tag here on the side. This says it's 100% cotton. So what I want to do is I want to set my iron on the cotton settings. If you don't do this, chances of you damaging your fabric is high. So you want to stick with the instructions. Now, when ironing a shirt, I always like to start with the front side with the buttons. And what I like to do with this is I like to fit the sleeve in the back corner of the ironing board. And just to show you something like this. Now, after you fit, you just want to get as flat and tight as possible. There we go. Now, what I always like to do is first I like to give it a spritz or two with water. And this will help create steam that will help get the wrinkles out. And my rule with ironing is you always want to start from top to bottom. But since we start with the buns, I like to get the buns first. And remember when you're ironing, you always want to keep the front of the iron in the direction where you're ironing. You never want to go backwards. The reason being is because of these holes where the steams come out, right? Those will actually get the wrinkles out. And doing it backwards does not help. So what I like to do is first I like to get in between every single button. Right, before I actually start working on the actual shirt. And once I do that, remember top to bottom, right? You can go either ways, left to right, it doesn't really matter, but always remember top to bottom. And don't worry about any wet stains you may leave, they'll dry off. This is a shitty iron. Alright. Now you got your front side done. Now it's time for the sleeves. A lot of people have difficulty with the sleeves, it's just because they don't know how to line up the sleeves correctly. Now, easy tip for the sleeves, I always grab it from the armpit seam. Once you grab it from the armpit seam and just hold it flat, and you lay it down, right, you'll always have that perfect crease. Now, what you always want to do is lay it down flat, because chances are your sleeves will have little pleats, like this. And to get the pleats, it's really easy. First, again, I like to iron top to bottom. But once you actually get to the pleats, I like to iron inside the pleats before I actually iron on the crease. And that way you get the sharp, crisp image on your sleeves that says, I'm here to do business. Alright, once you do that, you get the cuffs and just flip it around. flip around and just give it a nice quick iron just to get the creases on the other side. Now you're ready for the back portion. And the back is always the easiest part just because you have a lot of surface area to work with. So again, I like to fit the sleeve in the corner. And just, again, pull it down flat as possible. Now here's the easy trick if you don't want to use an iron, right? You just want to get some creases out in case you're either too busy to iron or you just don't have the time. Now what you do is you hang your clothes on a hanger and you hang it on your towel rack in your shower. And all you got to do is take a hot shower. Now what that will do is that will get rid of a good 70% of the wrinkles that you may have. It may not be as clean cut as actually ironing, but if you are in a lack of time, okay, that's the way you want to do. And once you get that side, all you have to do is move it to the other. And just give it one, again, top to bottom. Now you got your back done. Now here's the next sleeve. It's the same process, right? Grab it from the bottom seam, and I always like to, and I forgot to mention this, but I always like to do butt side up first. That way, right, you could get the cufflinks and you can line up your sleeve easier that way. And some people, right, they like to iron with starches, and what the starch does when you iron is helps get you that nice crisp, nice crisp, not the seams. Get you nice crisp. Anyway, the corners. Help you get nice crisp corners. That's the word I was looking for. Right. Once again, you get the back side, right, just quickly through, and now you're at the front. Now, usually the front left side will have a pocket, and what I like to do is again fit it on your ironing board. But the difference is, I'm not going to get the pocket just yet. I'm going to iron around the pocket from top to bottom. And what I do with the pockets, I always iron bottom to top. And the reason why is because there's an opening at the top, so when you iron down, that could cause more crease that you don't want. And what you do is you pull your button line flat down, and you make sure you get the button. Now it's time for your collar. Today, a lot of collars, something has these stays right here, which is these little plastic pieces that keep your collar straight. You want to take those out. Once you take those out, the collar is really easy. All you got to do is pull them out flat, lay them on the ironing board, and give it 1 or 2 quick strokes. And you bend it back, and there you have it. You now have a shirt that's ready for business, and you're ready to take charge of the day. Thank you for listening to my speech.